Hi, John Graham, Frontline Resources, Houston, ISO9000.com. Let's talk about ISO 9001, 2015, Section 4.4, processes. This is a huge part of your quality management system. Go slow here, take your time, and do a good job choosing your processes. The standard doesn't say they have to be flow charted out. I do recommend at least a big block diagram to show the sequence and interaction between the processes. And then how you define the processes, you can go drill down and go into individual flow charts or some kind of procedural text type document that explains each one of those. But look at all the letter requirements, A, B, C, D. The auditors from the registrar will expect you for each process you select to show evidence of that. And there's things required like documents, records that get spun off, responsibilities and authorities, how you control that process, key performance indicators. Some people like to use spider diagrams or turtle diagrams, others call them, but you have to define this some kind of way. Many times I prefer the graphic, some kind of visual like a flow chart. You can also add in links to other procedures, work instructions, and even short video work instructions. With today's technology, a lot of people can do that with their cell phone and just link them in. It's very easy. But now, let's choose the processes. Let's start with, why did you get in business in the first place? If you're a manufacturing company or you're a service, start with that prime service. Now let's look at a manufacturing example. You would for sure at a minimum want to cover quote order entry normally, planning and scheduling, how you set up manufacturing, and then there might be some preliminary front-end manufacturing where in addition to planning, you do a lot of purchasing and other materials requirements that works with inventory. Then we have the key manufacturing. Then after that, we have to preserve that quality, which is all your finishing, coding, packaging, and shipping to get it to the customer. Now, all other areas of ISO, such as internal auditing, management review, and those type of things, you could put all that in a support function, and that would be fine. Or you could make additional processes out of it. Be careful, don't get trigger happy with all these processes because you have to go back and define A, B, C, D, etc. for all of those. Now, in addition to this, you also have to define, the standard says clearly that you must define outsourced processes, such as I send something out to be heat treated or coated or galvanized. You're still responsible for those. So you can't tell your customer, oh, I'm sorry, it's a bad galvanizing. We didn't actually do that, sorry. No, it's got your name on that product in that order. So you are responsible for that. So make sure that you do a good job and control that. A lot of that gets controlled under Section 8.4, external providers, which we know as vendors. So you have a lot of controls there. Now, if you're a service company, you're probably going to have some kind of quote order entry. It could be an engineering function up front if you design. Procurement is very common. Doing the service itself. Expediting can also be a popular service. And then some kind of inspection function can also be part of it. Depends on what you do. Maybe you're an insurance provider and you process insurance claims. It's going to look quite different. But just think through the steps of your business. Start with the organization chart. Those are usually some good logical clues how the history of your management and leadership has already carved up your company. So use that. Put all your other requirements under some kind of support functions, and then go choose carefully, decide how you're going to define these processes. Use Section 4.4 as a guide, all the letters A, B, C, because you're going to be asked about these from the registrar's auditor, including risk and opportunities. Look at all the details there. You're going to be held responsible for those. So choose carefully, decide how you're going to define them, have very clear evidence of them, and choose some kind of graphical or easy to use function to do that. Easy for your members of your organization to use that. So think it through carefully, spend some quality time here, because this is going to be very important to everything else you do in setting up a quality system.